Our movie begins on a quiet street where Dom and Letty are living a peaceful life, away from the car races, the killings, and the headaches they experienced in the past. The two are standing and talking when a woman approaches them and tells Dom that his cousin is in trouble in the city. Dom, being the loyal family man he is, goes to investigate. Dom finds his cousin in a confrontation with a man over a late car payment. Dom intervenes, reminding the man of his connection to his cousin and proposing a race where the winner takes both cars. The man scoffs, knowing Dom's cousin's car is a wreck. However, Dom clarifies that the race isn't for his cousin's car, but for his own. The race begins, and Dom falls behind significantly, by about 3 meters. In a last-minute move, he hits the nitro and wins the race, jumping out of his car before it explodes. The man approaches him, acknowledging Dom's victory and newfound respect. Dom declines to take the car, stating that respect is enough. Later, Dom encounters a woman having car trouble, desperately needing help, and stops to assist her. He discovers a missing part in her car, which she conveniently pulls out of her pocket. The encounter turns out to be staged. She introduces herself as Cypher and wants Dom to work with her. Dom, having turned over a new leaf, refuses, citing his repentance and reluctance to work under a woman. Unfazed, Cypher shows him a picture on her phone, making it clear that he will work with her, betraying his family and close friends. Meanwhile, Hobbs is at a soccer game cheering on his daughter when his boss from the police force arrives. The boss informs him about the theft of a powerful electromagnetic device capable of easily destroying a country. Hobbs is tasked with retrieving the device without government interference, emphasizing the need for secrecy and a personal team. Hobbs immediately thinks of Dom and calls him, requesting a trip to Berlin. They successfully retrieve the device from the thieves, but the police arrive, forcing them to split up. Hobbs thanks Dom for his help, but to his surprise, Dom rams his car and steals the device. Hobbs is left bewildered, questioning Dom's motives. Hobbs contacts the rest of the team, urging them to escape as the police close in. The police pursue Dom, but he boards a waiting plane and escapes, leaving Hobbs to face arrest. Later, in prison, Mr. Nobody approaches Hobbs with an offer to help him escape in exchange for a small favor. Hobbs refuses, asserting his innocence and refusal to run. Then the new assistant speaks, threatens Hobbs with his daughter, prompting Hobbs to break his handcuffs and hang the assistant on the wall. Mr. Nobody apologizes, explaining that the assistant is new and doesn't know any better. As Hobbs enters the prison, he discovers that all the inmates are there because of his actions. His cell is opposite Shaw's, who remarks, "What a small world, my friend. What are you doing here?" Hobbs replies, "I've been a cop all my life, but when I thought of trying to be a thief, they caught me, haha," and laughs. We cut to Dom, who informs Cypher that he has done what she wanted. She tells him that he has only completed the first part, and there is still a second part. Then we go back to the prison, where Hobbs' cell has been opened. They believe Hobbs wants to escape and are on their way to subdue him with an electric shocker. Shaw takes advantage of the situation, hits one of the guards, and uses the electricity to open all the cells in the prison. The entire prison descends into chaos, and Hobbs fights everyone in his path to prevent Shaw from escaping. When Hobbs and Shaw meet, they are about to fight, but Mr. Nobody intervenes, saying, "Be nice to each other, boys, so you don't both die now." He takes them to his secret headquarters, where Dom's crew is located. He asks them about Dom's possible whereabouts, but no one knows because Dom has no fixed location. Cypher shows them a server and tells them that this is the woman Dom stole the reactor for and that they need to find him. She also tells them to use the God's Eye to locate him. When they do this, they realize he is in many places at the same time and discover that Cypher is jamming the signals, preventing them from pinpointing his location. Shaw thinks for a moment and tells them they can reverse the waves coming from her device to determine his location. When he does so, he actually pinpoints his location, and everyone is surprised to find that the coordinates are in the same place they are. At that moment, a bomb enters the place and paralyzes everyone, and Dom enters to steal the god's eye. Letty calls out to him, saying, "Why are you doing this?" Cypher comes and confronts him. He wonders to himself, this doesn't work with Dom at all. When they return to headquarters, Dom tells her, "This is the last time you do these things." Then we see Elena and Dom's son imprisoned, and we learn that Elena was pregnant when Dom left her to go to Letty. Cypher imprisoned them until he finishes all his tasks, and if he does anything wrong, she will kill them. Cypher comes and says, "I know you're thinking about how to kill us all, take your wife and son, and escape." She gives him a gun and says, "But before you do, know that the cameras behind you are people whose only job is to watch you. If you do anything, they will kill your wife and son." Dom says, "Your plane needs 2 men to hack, and I'm alone here." He hangs his chain on his wife's cell and says, "You want the old Dom? I'll give you the old Dom." Then we see Shaw, who joined the team because Cypher was the reason his brother was imprisoned, and he wanted revenge on her anyway. They head to a government car warehouse that exports vehicles to acquire all the necessary equipment to confront Dom. We then see Dom on the road in his car. He presses a button with his foot, disabling the vehicle, and asks Cypher to get out and change something in the engine to make it work. He does indeed get out to fix it, and she watches him on the cameras, but a giant truck comes and stops in front of the camera, obscuring the view. Dom enters a cafe, meets an old woman, and tells her he wants a favor from her to clean up all the problems that happened in the past. He gives her a device that looks like a watch. Then he goes out and stands on his car, the truck passes in front of the camera, and it seems like nothing happened. We then learn that Dom's mission this time is to steal a nuclear launch button from the Russian minister who is traveling in his convoy on the streets of New York. Cypher starts controlling all the automated cars in the city and makes them attack the minister's convoy. Dom then attacks the car with an electric saw, and the news reaches Hobbs and the team. Dom has opened a hole in the minister's car and threatens him that if he doesn't hand over the briefcase, he will throw a bomb inside the car, so they are forced to hand over the briefcase. He then gets out to his car to escape but finds his team around the place, including Shaw. Dom tries to escape, but the team shoots wires at him, paralyzing his car. He keeps accelerating and flips all their cars, takes the briefcase, and escapes. Shaw goes after him, but Dom pulls out a gun and says, "This time it won't be a real street fight," and starts shooting at him. Letty comes from behind and takes the briefcase from him and runs away, so he runs after her and raises the gun at her. She tells him, "I don't know why you're doing this, but what I do know is that you love me and you won't shoot." So she runs away. But Cypher's assistant grabs her and threatens her with a gun, so Dom comes and raises the gun to his head and tells him never to do that again. He asks Letty to hand over the device, so she leaves it, and Dom escapes. When he goes to Cypher, she says, "What did you do this morning? How did you let Letty escape with the briefcase? You must be punished for what you did." She tortures Elena in front of him, so he cries and says, "You must accept my son now, because he is the only one who will have mercy on you from me killing you and your team now." Then we go to Hobbs, who identifies Dom's next target, a military base with a nuclear submarine. They say that if they can control the submarine, they can destroy anything in the world. They go to the specified location and look at Dom, who strikes an electromagnetic wave and shuts down all the power there. But Hobbs' team tries to prevent Dom from helping Cypher. As Cypher attempts to take control of the submarine, Dom's team intervenes and disrupts her network for an extended period. Cypher then orders her assistant to leave the car, abandon Dom, and kill all his men. He laughs sarcastically and says, "Who will bring Letty first, me or Hobbs?" While Dom awaits a specific call. We then see Owen and Shaw on Cypher's plane to rescue Dom's son, kill Cypher, and seek revenge. We learn that the woman Dom met is Shaw's mother, and that he shot him with fake bullets and didn't intend to kill him. It was just an act. His older brother Shaw enters and kills everyone. Then Shaw enters, takes the child, and puts headphones on him so he doesn't hear the sound of bullets. He then calls Dom, and that's when he knows he's safe. So he goes out and kills Cypher's dog by breaking its neck. His entire team is about to die because of the army chasing them, but he hits them with missiles and saves the team. So everyone laughs and says, "Roman, I knew it, brother. Intelligence would have been wasted on some fools." They laugh together, and Hobbs tells him, "Welcome back, boss." Everyone is happy with what happened, but Cypher goes crazy and asks her men to operate the submarine after Dom's team fails to fully control it. They launch a missile at Dom, but he manages to divert one of the missiles to the submarine, and the second missile hits the car. Dom jumps out of it, but before the explosion reaches him, the team comes and forms a circle around him to prevent the fire from reaching him. Cypher tries to escape but finds Shaw in front of her, and he tells her that he located her from Dom's necklace, which he hung here. A fight ensues, but Cypher manages to escape from him and parachutes down. Then, we see the team gathered on the roof, happy and knowing why he did this. Shaw goes to him and says, "I never imagined that I could help you one day, and the strange thing is that you went and talked to my mother to help you." Dom says he will name his son Brian and that he will never forget his friends no matter what happens. We have reached the end of the summary. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching.